Welcome to another amazing tutorial where I'm going to be showing you once again how to create a stunning design using just your smartphone alone. Now basically, if you're new to the channel, welcome all new subscribers and existing subscribers as well. Now I'm not going to really talk much. I'm simply going to go right into business. Now basically, I was given a project to work on for a church, or for my church rather, right? And there's this meeting we normally have every month, and it's called Avalanche of Miracles, right? We have it every month. It's sort of like a monthly edition stuff, right? So basically, I actually wanted something different for what I've always been doing, and so I started thinking of a different approach and a different creative direction to go for it. And what I did was to have to think along the lines of some stunning miracles in the Bible that we are actually not logically possible, right? So one of the miracles that stood out for me was the parting of the Red Sea, right? So I thought to myself, oh, this could actually serve as a very nice background for my design to house my details and every other thing as well. So what I did was to simply just have a mind map of what I need, right? I simply just thought about it that, oh, if I could find an element that could act as the Red Sea divided, right? Something like this, and then something like this as well, right? And then of course the people passing through and all of that, of which that's not really my concern, right? But my concern was the fact that the sea sort of like forms the base of my design, right? And the next thing I thought about was also having sort of like a sky element that could fill up the background. And so this actually formed the base of my background and the design as well. So with this in mind, I actually now started looking for elements that will serve this purpose for me. So briefly, what we're going to do next is to simply change this artboard to white. Now next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the element I downloaded from the internet. I'm simply going to bring up this one first, and then I'm simply going to drag, and then I'm going to scale it up like so. I'm going to drag and scale it up again. What I'm going to do is to erase this sky that came with this particular background because I actually don't need it. So I'm going to simply go to the eraser tool, and then I'm going to simply just zoom in to see the path where I can actually erase from. And then I'm simply going to increase the size of my brush or the eraser tool and the softness as well. And then I'm just going to simply speed this up so that you can follow through and get the main point from this tutorial. So basically, next thing I'm going to currently now do is to bring in the other elements that is going to act as my sky. I'm going to simply crop out that part because I don't actually need it. And I'm going to just scale up till it fits my artboard properly the way I want it to be. Just like that. So I'm simply going to bring it backward. And then if you notice, the previous background we erased is actually not neat and it's actually not tight, and that's not what we want, right? So what I'm simply going to do is to go back to my erase tool and work on that. So I'm also going to speed it up as well, and then I might actually duplicate the other parts and then put it in this left hand side so that everything can blend up together like you see on your screen. So that being done, now the next thing to do is lock everything up, obviously, and then I am simply now going to go to my color filter to blend the sky and the ocean together like you're seeing here. So you can simply just follow the on-screen directions to simply know what I did and how I did it to be able to achieve uniformity or unism in both of the elements that I brought together to make one background. Now after this has been done, what I'm going to do next is to save this as a background, and I'm going to take it to PS Touch. Now the reason I want to take it to PS Touch is because there is a text that I made which is going to be a part of the design, but there's an effect I want to achieve, and then I can only achieve it with PS Touch, right? So I actually used the perspective tool in Pixellab rather to work on the perspective of the text, and then I saved it as a PNG file. So I'm simply going to take it to PS Touch, and I'm going to use a warp effect on PS Touch to add it to my design. So basically what I'm going to do is to adopt the element I talked about just not quite long. I am simply going to click and drag to the bottom. Now basically the idea is to make the avalanche of miracles a part of the sea that was pathed, right? So I'm simply going to take the eraser tool and just erase the parts that I don't need yet, because I only want to work on avalanche. So I'm going to erase this part. Now I'm going to actually slow down this part, and then so that you can actually know what I exactly did. But for the other text, I'm going to speed it up so that we don't get to waste any more time, right? So basically what I'm going to do is select the text, and I'm going to click on that FX, or rather the and icon. I'm going to click on warp, right? So this is where I'm going to be, this is the particular tool I'm going to be using to warp this text in a way that sort of waves around or intertwine with the sea that was parted, right? So basically what I'm doing is I am working with every pointer that is available to the warp tool to achieve what I am looking for. So basically I am going to, as you can see, I am simply not speeding this particular process up so that you can actually see what I am doing, and you can actually know what was done, right? So that you don't end up watching the tutorial and being confused. That's not what I want to achieve. I want you all to get what was done, behind the creative piece that you will be seeing your screen or on your screen in any moment soon, right? So basically I'm just moving the knots around to sort of blend with the perspective of the sea. Now I couldn't do this in Pixellab because Pixellab is only fixed on just 4 corners, right? So after this being done, the next thing I'm going to do is to now speed up the process and do the same thing I did for avalanche for the other text, so that you can follow up. Now basically what I did here was to simply change the overlay of the avalanche, or the blend mode of the avalanche, to overlay, and then I duplicated the layer, and then what I simply did was to leave it at normal, and then I simply just drop the opacity of the duplicated layer. Now the reason for that is because I want it to be much more visible, right? Not something that it's hard to read. So I'm going to speed up the process for the other text so that we can actually get right to business, and you can actually see the final result of the entire design, right? Now we're done with this, I'll take this design back to Pixellab, and then we can proceed. Now after working on the design, the text, the avalanche of miracles, being embedded in the sea that was parted, right? I brought the design back to Pixellab, and then next thing I did was to just bring in the other details that I needed, of which I believe everyone should know how to do, right? I actually don't include all this in my tutorials so that you don't get to waste your time, or I don't get to waste your time rather, right? So that's why most of my videos are actually I'm not actually fixated on showing you how to get the details and all of that. I believe most of everyone can actually do that, right, if you actually know your design principles very well. Now after the details was added in Pixellab, right, we've done all the all the stunts that I want to do for the design, and it's looking good, right? So next thing I did was to simply take the design to PS Touch. I took it back to PS Touch to add up the date, the time, and the venue. Rather, the date, time, and all of that as well. And then, after doing that, I added some flares that you're seeing in the design right now. After I was done with that on PS Touch, I took the design to Lightroom to make it pop, to make it unique, to make it sort of like tight, right? I love everything being tight up together, and it just looks good. It just looks, very, very it looks demure. All right, so basically that will be all for this tutorial. So basically, do well to subscribe if you've not. Welcome new subscribers once again, and if you're yet to subscribe, do it to subscribe, hit the notification bell icon to always get notified whenever I drop a video like this that can actually help you stand out from the seas of designers, right? And also, you can share my YouTube channel to your friends, and you tell them, oh look, I found the channel whereby you can actually do crazy stuff with just your phone. You understand? So it just sort of a way of, it helps the channel grow, right? And we want to grow so that we can reach more persons, right? So that'll be all for now. Bye guys.